Hi there guys, Rick here and welcome to Rick's Guitar School. Today we have harmony class and I'm going to be taking a look at major triads and how to play them over the entire fretboard. Firstly though, I want to give you a heads up on my website www.rick-graham.co.uk. Head on over there and subscribe to my website. That will give you access to lots of very cool stuff coming up, lots of lesson material and such. There's also purchasable lessons over there on my website, so make sure you head on over there, subscribe and check it out. Okay, let's get cracking with today's lesson. It's major triads. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at major triads, and we're also going to be looking at the inversions of a major triad and how to play it over the entire fretboard. Most guitarists, more often than not, will kind of be stuck or restricted to the framework of just a handful of major chords. Let's say we took an A major chord. Any of you guys out there that are familiar with caged theory, you can probably play 5 shapes, all those, until you get an octave higher. But what I want to do is give you a new way at approaching triads, so that we can play them over the entire fretboard. There's not one area of the fretboard that isn't covered. There's a number of reasons why this is really important. Obviously, fretboard knowledge, it's vital for, but also within improvisation. If you've got access to every single chord tone of a triad, we'll be looking at other chord types later on, but starting with triads. If you've got access to those chord tones at a moment's notice, it's going to really help your improvising wherever you are on the fretboard. That's why it's important to know these all over the fretboard. So I'm going to show you some really simple ways of doing that. What we're going to do is we're going to start with A major. I presume you all know that shape by now. But what we're going to do is we're going to break it down into groups of strings. Because it's triads, what I want to do is break it down into groups of 3 strings. So let me show you the shapes that occur on, starting with a root on the bottom E string. So the first available shape for an A major triad, that is the 1st, 3rd and 5th notes of an A major scale, is this shape. And we're just going to be playing those notes, just 3 notes, A, C sharp and E. So 1st, 3rd and 5th. So that's our first shape and it looks like that. I'm just going to call that shape number 1. And that's a root position A major triad. Now if we move up to the next available position using the same strings, we get this. We've got the notes C sharp, E and then back to A again. That is a first inversion of A major, and it's our shape number 2. So we have so far root position, first inversion, okay, and then we've only got one more shape left, which is second inversion, and it's here. It looks like an E major shape, this, with your 1st, 2nd and 3rd fingers. Okay, so we've got fret 12, 12 and 11. So there we have it on the bottom 3 strings. Okay, that's simple enough. If you want to go to the next available shape, it's going to be this shape, which is an octave higher than that one. But we're just going to do 3 for now. Okay, great. The next step, logically, is to move it to the next group of strings. So we're going to go A, D and G strings, and we're going to play our first available A major triad in that order. So whichever order the notes come, A, C sharp, E. We might start with a C sharp as the root or E as the root, but it's got to be in that order. So here's our first shape. It's actually, well, I say first shape, here's how the shape looks. That's our second shape of the series, so we know what we're going to play after that. So we have this. That's the first inversion and our second shape. So we know immediately that our next shape is going to be the 3rd shape. There we are. And the following shape after that is going to be back to our first shape. Hopefully this is starting to make a bit more sense to you. So we have this shape. So that's the second shape, but first inversion. Then we have the 3rd shape, which is second inversion. And then back to root position. So far we have, just to recap, change the strings again. Okay, then we're going to move down to the D, G and B strings, exactly the same thing. What you are going to have to do here is change the shape, the way it looks slightly due to the B string and the tuning, but it's dead easy. So first shape looks like this. Okay, so it's from our regular A major chord. We're just going to play the D, G and B strings. Okay, next available shape is this one. Okay, and then the next is this. So this is our second inversion shape. Root position, first inversion, then back to root if you want to go up an octave. Okay, and then finally we're going to go G, B and D, G, B and E strings. And we have this, which is root position, first inversion, second inversion. Okay. So if I play all of those, that gives us every single possible shape for an A major triad. And consequently the notes of the chord. So it follows that wherever you are on the fretboard, if you know these shapes, it's going to really help with not just your fretboard knowledge and harmony knowledge and everything else, because obviously if you know your chords, you can start to extend the chord and add extensions to like seventh chords and whatever, and it's going to make life a whole lot easier and your understanding of the fretboard a whole lot clearer. And like I said before, when you're soloing, it's really important to be in control of being able to hit and target chord tones. So this is a great place to start. So just to recap, it's a good idea to just play these triads in order, so A, C sharp, E in this case, and then consequently as you move up you go through each inversion, the first inversion, then the second inversion. So do that on every group of 3 strings. Okay, that concludes this lesson. I'm going to be doing a lot more on this subject, and we're going to take it a little bit further. I'm going to look at other chord types and extensions, and then we're going to take a look at an example chord progression, and we're going to talk about voice leading and how important voice leading is, particularly with reference to soloing and improvising. So look out for that one. Okay, that concludes this lesson. Just a quick reminder, head on over to my website if you haven't done so already. Subscribe there, because there's lots more good guitar goodness to come. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Take it easy.